Good evening. We're going to take the opportunity tonight to meet somebody that's very special. That after attending the Inner Child Journey workshops that the Marin Church of Religious Science presented, had an incredible breakthrough in her life. She not only began writing rapidly, day and night, but she now has a #1 bestseller book in the New York Times. Now she's somebody that's very well known all over the world. She happened to be flying around with this man in many adventures throughout many, many, many years. Yes, this man was Superman. And this is the one and only Lois Lane, who up till last year was his girlfriend, and now they are married. So let's put our hands together and let's clap and give our love to Miss Lois Lane.
Happens after the Inner Child workshop, you hug everybody. Is there somebody, can somebody help me put a microphone on it for the staff? Like an expert person. It's Lois Lane.
Lois, you have beautiful legs.
Why, thank you, Lucy. Anyway, I want to tell you I am so excited to be here tonight to tell you about the Inner Child Workshop. How many of you have been through the Inner Child Workshop here?
Yay!
Woo! Pretty hot stuff, huh? Well, last year for a honeymoon present, somebody gave us an Inner Child Workshop. And so Clark and I took the workshop last year, and it completely changed our lives. And as Reverend Luzette said, it so inspired me that I even as long as I've been a journalist, never taken a book project on. My very first book, which is Out of the Closet and Into the Telephone Booth, My Life with Superman. I hope some of that was for Clark. He's not here tonight. He couldn't make it. He's kind of flying around. Anyway, what Reverend Luzette asked if I would share some of the some excerpts from the book to give you an example of the great effect that the workshop had on our lives. So, without any further ado, yes, we thought we had the perfect marriage. That was until we took the Inner Child Workshop. It was in the workshop that we first heard the slogan, "You're only as sick as your secrets." About how most of us manufacture kind of a public mask or persona to hide the real us inside. Well, the workshop made it clear to Clark and me that we could no longer live with the secrets we had been hiding behind. We made a firm commitment on the spot to total and complete honesty, to tell the truth no matter what the consequences. Because we knew that it was through truth that we could set our inner child free and come from our authentic self. So I will tell you, it truly terrified me to even think of writing the whole truth of my life with Superman. But with the encouragement of the Inner Child Workshop and the $4 million advance from Simon & Schuster, I got the courage to write this book. And I know, I'm sure you're all probably saying, yeah, oh, sure, she's Lois Lane. She's Lois Lane, Superman's wife. She has it all. She has it made. Not one well, maybe a couple single. First of all, now that I'm into telling the whole truth, I have something to get off my chest. I am like royally pissed off. The name is Lois Lane. It is not Superman's girlfriend, Superman's wife, Superman's left arm, or some other lame appendage. And you know, it's not fair. It's not fair Because ever since the 50s, I've been known as someone's girlfriend. How would you like that, Mr. Elizabeth Taylor? Same thing. Instead of for the person that I am. And the scripts I've been given, the scenarios, the lines. I mean, I'm always in trouble, you know? And it's always Superman there to rescue me. Yeah. I mean, like, doesn't that sound like such a total victim? I mean, oh, Superman. Like, I can't do it by myself. I mean, my friends know, you know, that's not like me, right? I'm not like that. I mean, DC Comics has me pigeonholed as some kind of, you know, crisis-prone dingbat ditz. You know what I mean. You've been reading about me for years. That's not the truth. I'm here to tell you the truth. I mean, the Inner Child Workshop gave me a lot of courage. I'll tell you. Anyway, so the Inner Child Workshop really gave me the courage to call up DC Comics and insist they totally rewrite my life. Clear up the victim attitude and all those other neurotic issues. I want better lines, a more up-to-date hairdo, and maybe some bigger, anyway. You know, I'll tell you, I know he's not here to tell you, but I can tell you for him. The workshop, and you all know because it probably had a profound effect on you, right? Am I right? This workshop had such a profound effect on Clark. I mean, it really blew his mind to discover all those hidden abandonment issues. You know, I mean, think about it. I mean, the poor guy, his planet, first of all, his planet blows up, right? He loses his parents. He comes to Earth, he finds some new parents. He loses those parents. And the poor guy, his dog died. I mean, one major abandonment issue after another. And how did he deal with these feelings? Simple. He didn't. To distract himself from his feelings, he went into complete denial and became a major workaholic. We all know the stories, but this story you don't know. It is not easy being married to a workaholic. Picture this, slaving over the stove for 5 hours to make a nice fancy gourmet evening, right? And then the two of you alone finally. Enjoying a romantic candlelit gourmet meal. The atmosphere is, well, it's perfect. Until right in the middle of the meal, 3,000 miles away, some goddamn dam is breaking. He's off again for the umpteenth time. Yeah, I call it a case of avoiding intimacy issues. And of course, he calls it being a hero. Well, you know, Clark, he realizes he has a problem, and that's the first step to recovery, right? He's willing to get help. So he entered a 12-step program for workaholics. So he's decided to face his issues with his parental loss, so he's gone back in time to meet with them before the planet blew up. That's my Clark. Anyway, back to the book. Some of the chapters I'm covering, faster than a speeding bullet. Well, yeah, that's great for some occasions. But not in the bedroom. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? But at least there's a flip side to this, because he is the Man of Steel, and you know, every part of his body is extra hard. Next, the one, the only, the Man of Steel, Wolf. That's right. He's very, very domestic, very handy around the kitchen, and he also substitutes for most major kitchen appliances, dishwasher, blender. He slices, he dices. Boy, that guy's a real handy dude, I'll tell you. And my favorite chapter, the last chapter, Venus Envy. I mean, let me tell you, Even with all his superpowers, Superman is very insecure. Superman's always comparing the size of his planet with everyone else's. Well, you know, I'll tell you, my husband has always been very misunderstood. People really objectify him. And I know because I used to do a lot of that myself. I mean, I first fell in love with all the trappings, the muscles, the superpowers, not to mention those unlimited frequent flyer miles. For years, I was in love with the fantasy of the man. Well, the Inner Child Workshop helped me see past all the trappings and truly love the man inside and accept his dark side along with the light. And I learned from the Inner Child Workshop that the real supermen and superwomen of this world are those individuals who don't have to prove their worth with super feats, but those who can embrace both the light and the dark sides of themselves and others. They don't need to be someone else's appendage, have a fat bank account, or the right color of skin. They don't need to leap tall buildings at a single bound. All they need, all we need, is to truly recognize how truly unique, precious, and lovable we all are. Thank you. And I love you all, even if you don't buy the book.